Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Margarita, and today I'm here to talk to you about all the nonfiction that I'm excited about, my recommendations. It's Nonfiction November, so let's talk about some nonfiction. So, nonfiction is not my normal genre. I usually read a lot of fantasy, sci-fi, that kind of stuff. But I do have some nonfiction that I absolutely love, that I think is absolutely fabulous, and a lot of nonfiction on my shelves that I actually really want to get to. I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle of a reading slump at the moment, so who knows if I'll actually get to all of the nonfiction that I'm interested in this month. But I'm going to talk to you about all of it. So the first part of this video is going to be my recommendations to you about nonfiction that I have read and I have really, really and truly enjoyed. So I have a little pile of books here. Let's just get into it. The first one that I have to talk about is Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I do it every time I talk about this book. This is a memoir about Ta-Nehisi's life as a black man in America, and it is a message to his son, and it is this book is dedicated to his son, and he's trying to speak to his son about what it's like to be a black man in America. Obviously, if you can't tell, I'm not a black man in America, so I do not I can't relate to a lot of the things that he talks about in this book, but as a white person, it really helped to open my eyes to a lot of things that black people go through in the state of America, in America and in our culture, and how there's some things that are just so deeply ingrained into our society that are racist that we don't even question it. It doesn't even, cross your mind to think, well, the school system and how that is, it sets, black people up for failure essentially, and how that's racist, and how, all of those kinds of things that I never thought of. This really helped open my eyes and made me think about a lot of things that I had never even considered. So I really enjoyed this one. I listened to it as an audiobook. I highly recommend, because Ta-Nehisi Coates actually narrates the book, and I thought that was very, very good. The next book that I have to talk about may not be for everybody, and I totally understand. It's a weird niche that I have. And that is What We Talk About When We Talk About Rape by Sohalia Abduali, excuse me. And this is basically a story. It's about rape in other cultures, and when we talk about rape, what we're talking about, what we're not talking about. And Sohalia Abduali was actually gang raped in Mumbai when she was younger, and so she can talk about it from a perspective that a lot of people can't, especially okay, hi, Duke is here now. Can you sit down? Thank you. Sorry if the camera starts to jump all over the place. He has no respect for it. But it's really, really good, and it has a lot of really good topics that need to be discussed, and I really like it. If you don't know, I volunteer with victims of sexual assault and rape and domestic violence and stuff, so books like that where I can learn things about, what women as a whole have to deal with all around the world, or the topic in America, or those kinds of things, is a really great weapon to have in my arsenal when I go out on calls and have to meet with these people, and how to connect with them, and how to tell them they can survive it. So anyway, that's a side note. That's why I have so many books like that, and I read so many nonfiction books like that. It's because that's an interest of mine that is very tough, but I find a lot of reward out of. Another book along that topic, I don't have it with me, my friend has it, is now I can't think about it. What's the name of the book? Hold on, I have one of her other books here. Not That Bad by Roxane Gay. And that is also, it is a anthology of people's stories with sexual assault and rape, and it's written by all kinds of people, men, women, and how that has affected them, and it is so good. It is incredibly hard to read. It took me months to read, and it's taken my friend months to read, because it's not a book that you can just sit down and like flip through and read it all in one night. If you can, you have a lot of strength. I do not have that kind of strength to read that much of that kind of story and, you know, not have it affect me. It is very, very deep, but I think that it's also another very important read, especially if that's something that you can handle. I love that book. I cannot wait to get it back. I'm going to reread it and annotate it, and, you know, it's definitely a very good book. It's a very tough book, but very, very good. The next book, might as well keep on the roll, is Hunger by Roxane Gay, and this is her memoir, and it's a story of her body. Roxane Gay is a plus-size woman, and you learn that the reason she is plus-size is because of something that happened in her past, and she's basically been building this armor because of it. So this book, it talks about that, how that event affected her. It also talks about how people treat her as a plus-sized woman, and, you know, her life as a plus-sized woman. And this is very, very good. This is another book that I would really like to reread and annotate at some point in time. Now's not that time. The next book that I have to talk about is From Here to Eternity by Caitlin Doughty, and this is Traveling the World to Find the Good Death. This book is basically all the different death practices that are around the world. I want to say that she picks, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She picks 8 different death practices around the world from various areas, like, hold on. There's Indonesia, Mexico, Japan, Bolivia, Spain. So it talks about the death practices in those different areas, and, you know, how they think about death and how it's a part of their lives, and it's not this super scary thing. My one complaint about this book is that there are 3 stories from the United States in here, like 3, there's like North Carolina, California, 3 different places here, and I think that the first one that they picked was really, really good, but the other 2 could have been death practices somewhere else in the world, like Africa. There's no representation of African death practices in this book. It's just, you know, we could have learned a lot more if there had been a little bit more variety. So that's my one complaint with this book. However, I still really enjoyed it. I highly recommend it. I actually got it from the library and saw this copy out in a bookstore and paid full price for it. So that's how much I enjoyed this book. I highly recommend it. If you are interested, give it a try, because honestly, it's really good. Duke, you can't... Okay, Duke's going to do this video from here on out. Yeah, thank you. Can you move back? Can you back up? Just a little bit? There's been a lot of shoving of this dog in these videos I've been filming. Okay, the last recommendation that I have for you in physical form is Bygone Badass Broads, 52 Women Who Changed the World by Mackenzie Lee, illustrated by Petra Erickson. Thank you. Oh, I'm getting kisses. Thank you. So this is exactly what it says. This is the story of 52 amazingly badass ladies. There are illustrations and a little bit of a story about her and how she changed the world and why she was a badass lady. And it's just like, what's not to love, thank you, about this book? It's a fun way to learn about women that you did not know about. So along the same line of this, I don't have the book because I got it from the library and I haven't been able to find a physical copy. Along the same lines is Brazen. I can't remember who it's by. I'll try to leave a link to the book down below. But it is so good. It's also the same format of that book. And it's just, let's learn about some awesome badass ladies who changed the world. Like, what's not to love about that? So those are my recommendations to you guys about books that I thoroughly enjoyed in the nonfiction genre. Now I'm going to talk about some of the books on my shelves that I'm also very excited to read, hopefully in the next couple months, because like I said, I'm in a reading slump. Don't know if I'm actually going to be able to read a lot of this month, but you know, I'll give it a shot. The first book that I have to talk about is going to be it's just a fun, stupid read. And that is Curious Advice, Most Unusual Manners, Morals, and Medicine from Days of Yore. And this is edited by Ruth Pepper Summers. So, and this is just like different crazy stuff that like cosmetics for the face. For a very fine one, try Mrs. Chase's following treatment for pimple face, etc. Like, it's just going to be hilarious. So, it's really short. There's a lot of space. There are pictures. So, I'm hoping to fly through what is this, laudanum? Yeah, laudanum. I can't believe people actually took that. So, I'm excited to read the crazy things that people did in the past. The next book that I have to talk about, I've already started. I had to put it down for a while because I was not in a place where I could read this book and remain mentally healthy. And that is One of Us, The Story of the Massacre in Norway and Its Aftermath. And this is by Asni Searstand. Sorry, I cannot pronounce her name. And this basically is the story of July 22nd, 2011, when Anders Breivik, detonated a bomb and then went to a camp and killed lots and lots of teenagers. And it's the story of how that happened, who he was, some of who his victims were, the aftermath of all of that. And I am not even 100 pages into this. I might just completely restart it. We'll see. But I know this is going to be a Netflix film. Oh, it should already be out. I still want to read this first. But this is something I am very interested in reading because I've said this before, a lot of, in America, there are a lot of mass shootings and a lot of death and violence that happens all the time. And I'm interested to read about that kind of thing happening in another country. And, see how it happened, what they learned, that kind of stuff. So, very interested in this. The next book that I'm interested in picking up, is Nasty Woman, Essays, by all these people, Feminism, Resistance, and the Revolution in Trump's America. And I'm just interested in reading it. Like, I don't know what else to say. This is a book I'm interested in reading, and it will happen. The next book that I have to talk about is The Awakened Woman, Remembering and Reigniting Our Sacred Dreams by Dr. Taravari Trent. And I believe that this woman went back to school. Yeah, she wanted to have an education and go to school, but she was married at a young age. That's right. And by the age of 18, she already had 4 children. So that was not really a possibility for her, and she decided to go back and go to school and educate herself and changed her world. And I'm just super excited to read about this amazing woman who, made the best out of a really shitty situation. So, all for powerful women. I need to read all about the powerful women so that I myself can become a powerful woman, find my inner power. The next book is Freedom from Toxic Relationships by Avril Carruthers, and this is moving on from family, work, and relationship issues that bring you down. This is definitely something that I think a lot of people should read. I haven't read it yet, so maybe I should hold that claim back. But I feel like a lot of people, I know myself, I've been in a lot of toxic relationships, whether that be intimate relationships or friendships, or I've had some toxic relationships with people in my family. So this is going to hopefully be a really good tool, and I can learn a lot of things about this. I think that a lot of people are in toxic relationships and they can't see the red flags, because I know especially when I was in my abusive relationship, I could not see any of the red flags that were very, very painfully obvious. And now when, I talk to my friends or when I talk to other people, I'm like, that's a red flag. And I can tell you because I've been there, but also because I'm not in the situation you currently are. And it's important to see those to know what those problems are so you can identify them for yourself. Anyway, let's all be better people. I have 2 more books and then I'm done. I know this has been a really long video, I'm sorry. The next book that I have to talk about is Dark Matter and the Dinosaurs, The Astounding Interconnectedness of the Universe by Lisa Randall. And I don't really know a whole lot about this. I know that it's going to talk about the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. And that's about it. I'm just really excited. Hopefully I'll love it. If I don't, I'll move it along. But, I definitely want to give it a shot. I've had this on my shelves for a while, and I'm very interested in at least, trying it out. What's the point of all these books if you don't try them out? And last but not least is another book that I started. I didn't get very far in. I got like 50 pages in, but I was loving it while I was reading it. And that is Sex in the Sea, Our Intimate Connection with Sex-Changing Fish, Romantic Lobsters, Kinky Squid, and Other Salty Erotica of the Deep. And this is by Mara Hart. And honestly, I'm excited to read this. It has different, I don't want to lose my spot, but it has different, so it has Act 1, which are dating games, Act 2, sealing the deal, Act 3, Act 2, is sealing the deal, sexual intercourse, Act 2, the other part 2 is sealing the deal, sexual outer course. Sounds frightening. And Act 3, which is post-climax. And one of the funniest things, this is just a fun book. It doesn't take itself seriously, and you're learning a lot while not taking it, it doesn't feel academic at all. Not that that's a bad thing, but, one of the best things about this is, look at the beginning of this. So, the quest, seeking sex in salt water, and, can you see that little whale? He's just so cute. And then there's sexy trivia, there's, sex soundtrack, so the first one is Somebody to Love, Ain't No Mountain High Enough, Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Babe, and Good Vibration. It's just such a fun book. So I was really enjoying it while I was reading it. Don't remember why I put it down, but definitely interested in picking this back up and reading it and just, learning some good stuff about sea creatures and their sex lives and also laughing. Those are things that I love. Another thing, if you don't know, but you're probably wondering, this is such a weird selection of books. So another thing, I, for a really long time, thought I was going to work with animals. I love biology. I love conservation. I love just learning about animals. All of those shows that David Attenborough narrates, Blue Planet, Planet Earth, all of that stuff, I'm the one that wants to watch them in the family, and my parents are just nice enough to sit there and let me geek out about it. So I have quite a few books on my shelves about animals, about, their habitats, what we can learn from them. I just love it. I love learning about this kind of stuff, and my friends already know, after I finish this book, I'm going to be whipping out all kinds of crazy factoids from this book. And I just can't wait. It's going to be so good. Sarah, Maya, I know you're watching. Get ready. So those are all of the books that I have to talk about. Let me know in the comments down below if you have read any of these books, your thoughts and opinions of these books. Also, if you liked my recommendations, if you would like more recommendations from me in the future. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!